Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Leroy, and welcome to my channel, 40 and Broke, where we're all about getting out of debt, saving, investing, and getting our finances under control so we can live the life we've always dreamed of, because that's what it's all about, living the life we've always dreamed of. And the last thing we talk about, building wealth. I just talked about it, just touched on it a little bit about what I did with the side hustle money and how it built up. So, as an extension of that, we would take this side hustle money and then we built upon it. We took all the dues that we had set aside and we started a store. And we said, okay, we're the store man now. We're going to get that interest. We're going to make that money. And on top of that, another thing we would do is we became very generous, very charitable. So if somebody rode in, we would be like, hey man, what do you need? We'd give them a care package so that it's like, hey, here's some coffee, here's some tobacco, here's some, zoom zooms and wham whams, here's some cosmetics. What do you need? Whatever you want, we got it for you. You just replace what you got. We won't charge you interest. Or if somebody rode out, we would be like, here you go, man. Here's a parting gift. Take this with you. Here's some cosmetics for you. Here's some food so you got something to eat, because you never know if your state rip's going to catch up with you, and that's the money in your account. So you never know if the money in your account's going to catch up, because the state doesn't do anything instantaneously. I mean, you could have your money in there by the next store day, or it's going to take a month and you're still waiting on your money to get it into your account. So we would be like, here you go, man. Here's X, Y, and Z, so you can have some stuff to eat. You can have some food items. Oh, you don't drink coffee, you don't smoke. Well, here's a bag of tobacco. Here's a bag of coffee. When you get there, sell quarter packs and coffee shots. Well, a quarter pack is like 7-9 cigarettes, because they're roll up. A bag of tobacco, you roll up a cigarette, and you would sell them for 50 cents. It was called a quarter pack because they used to be worth a quarter. You'd get them for a stamp. This is back when stamps cost a quarter. And then the name just stuck. So when I left prison, 9 cigarettes would cost you 50 cents. A bar of soap, 50 cents, whatever. And then the same thing with a coffee shot. And a coffee shot is a single serving of coffee that you pay 50 cents for. So it's like, here, use this, sell this, build you up some inventory. That way, if your money don't hit, you've got money that's, you can hustle up some money and you'll be good when you hit this new facility. So we were very charitable in that we were able to help people out like that. And that was good, because I mean, as much as people talk about poor people or talk bad about, being poor people, being needing the money and this, that, and the other, and rich people are just greedy. When you have money, you're able to be far more charitable than you are when you're poor. So there's that. We were able to be far more charitable for people than we were if we were just broke. So what we did is, on top of that, we were building wealth. I had my side hustles going. I was making fudge probably twice a day, and there would be 15 pieces, 13 of them. I would make $12 off a batch of fudge. And like I said, it really didn't cost me anything to make. I think $1.50 cost me about $1.50, because I would buy a box of Star Crunch Little Debbie's that I used for the bottom layer. And it got to the point where I wasn't even buying that. The product was buying that from what I was selling. So everything was basically free. So we were looking at $12 in profit, $13 in profit, because it was 15. I gave away 2 pieces. Oh, and then the other 2 end pieces, I gave them 2 for $1. So $12 off a bucket bowl of fudge. So, and I was doing that twice a day. So I was making $24 a day. And then by the time I sold the cosmetics, let's say it was about half of that. So I was making about $12 in actual store items, which are worth more, because you really don't need that much soap. But if I can turn around and sell the soap really cheap, then I don't have to buy my smokes. I don't have to buy my coffee. I don't have to buy my Zoom Zooms and Wham Whams. I don't have to buy the hot cocoa that I was drinking like a cokehead fiend, you know? And this stuff's all free. So we would built up that kitty, and then the side hustle that I remember my other buddy had, he ran a poker table, and the house always gets their cut. So he was just racking in the money with the house cut, and that was going into the kitty. You know, the 10% was going into the kitty, and he was probably bringing in $50 a day. I mean, he was making bank with that. And so we're putting 10%. It's building up. It's adding up. And then he would have people that would come to him. I remember there was one guy that was Native American. So they would get per cap once a year from their tribe, and the state can't touch it. So he would get that per cap, and he'd gamble it away. Well, he had this gold chain. He had this gold chain, and he come to Logie and was like, I want to pawn this to you. What will you give me for it so I can keep playing poker? And he's like, I'll give you $40. He's like, dude, it's a $300 necklace. I'll give you $40. So he's like, fine. Gives him $40. He's like, all right, you give us X amount. After a month, you can, and you get it back. So he's like, okay. A couple months goes by. I mean, dude's just steady paying the interest on. He's like, I don't want it back yet, but keep paying the interest. And he would have to pay the interest every month. And then he was finally like, I don't want it. So he done paid us like $40 in interest on a $40 item that he pawned. And then we turned around and sold it for $80. So we made $120 off this necklace. And because he had ended up getting his per cap, and he was just like, I don't care, I'm just going to buy a new one. So we basically became loan sharks. And so we had payday loans basically going, oh, you need some money till state rip? All right, here you go. And pay us back 50% when you get it, blah, blah, blah. And those were our side hustles. And we built a massive amount of wealth in a short period of time. Each cell could only have, I want to say, $150 worth of store goods in your cell. I think it was 150. Well, there was like 10 of us that each had $150 in our cell. And then our bunkies each had $150 in the cell. So I'm like, you're looking at $3,000 worth of items that, 10, 15 of us. I mean, we built wealth, and you build it quick. And like I said, I wish I had taken this philosophy with me out into the real world, because I made so much money in the joint. It's funny because I have people tell me, oh man, you can hustle. I need to hook up with you. I could sell all kinds of drugs with you, man. You could sell drugs like crazy. And I'm just like, I'm going to stay away from selling drugs. I'm pretty good. Thanks, man. But I mean, I never really looked at it as I studied finances, because I've said in the past, I do a lot of the things. What got me on my financial journey was a clickbait video called 7 Habits the Rich Have That the Poor Don't Have. And I realized I follow the majority of these 7 habits. I just never put them together into a cohesive single goal. And once I did, I guess, like Dave says, you get gazelle intense. And I did. And things just got better. Things got way better once I became gazelle intense on these traits. So But like I said, I did those trades when I was in the joints, and here's stories of how I did it. So now that's what I'm trying to teach you, that if I can get out of prison, if I can do this in prison, then I'll be damned if I can't do it out here. You know, I have access to so much more out here. There's so much more I have everything at my fingertips. Everything. I'm talking to you on a phone, on a free platform, telling you what I did in prison and how prison is going to make me rich. So that's it right there. Those are 6 ways that prison is going to make me rich. So, all right, stay tuned. And with that note, I've got to go to work and help me get back to being rich. So, all right, everybody, keep hustling.